years of continuous police service. So ito pong ganitong mga sessions po natin, yung recordings, ay naipapasa ko po personally. So I really look forward personally as well. Ito pong topic ngayon, which is about the scholarship na binibigay po, no? And in fact, just a little more, my daughter herself, who was an OFW sa Australia, and took advantage of one OWWA TESDA scholarship right now, and she's been training at may allowance pa pala yun. Libre na yung training, Pastor Ram, may allowance pa silang tinatanggap, and that will make way for her eventually to go back either Australia or kung saan man po niya gusto. And now, with the indulgence of everybody, I turn the floor kay Kuya Rico. Kuya Rico, kayo nga po ang magpakilala ng gusto sa ating speaker ngayon. Kuya Rico?
First, I'll introduce the presenter, siya po si Dalisay, si Ma'am Dalisay Sarmiento. So, naging kasama ko po siya dati sa CLF, Christian Life Fellowship, in the 1980s pa. And she's also a mechanical engineering graduate from Seattle University, and he also with the media department of the CLF, Christian Life Fellowship. Siya po yung pinaka-in-charge po doon sa mga radio production. So magaling po yan sa mga production ng mga drama. And right now, she's with the Meteorologics Training Center. So again, nung nalaman ko nga na nangangailangan sila ng mga scholars, and at the same time, nung nakita ko din na meron tayong reintegration program, no, sa mga OFW, mahirap talaga ang reintegration program. Just like me, 3 years yun, rocky road talaga ako. Kaya yung integration program is really very important. No, so right now we have the service provider, the training center, and we have also the beneficiaries for the OWWA, and we have the OWWA and the TESDA, and also the program that's like this reintegration that you have initiated, Pastor. And with all of this, so this is a complete link of the circle, no, na para makaabil yung mga beneficiaries natin, andyan ang service provider natin. So the circle is complete now. The circuit is complete, so ang blessing po ay complete. So that's why kung meron tayong service provider na ganito, so yung mga kapatiran natin would really benefit at saka kanilang mga beneficiaries. So I think that's all. We can now turn over the floor to Ms. Dalisay.
Okay po. Good evening for those who are in the Philippines, and good afternoon for those who are in Saudi Arabia. To be honest po, I am in the training center already, and I became a professor before. Before I became a professor, I was in the full-time ministry work in the radio ministry, as what Rico said. I was the one heading, so it's very far from what profession that I have. Then after that, I took my master's degree, and I did not come or go to this kind of profession, this time teaching, because I wanted. I remember when I was in college, my professor asked me to teach already in the university, but I told him that I'm not taking up engineering just to teach. But I know that when I said to the Lord, I surrender everything, use me the way you want me to use, and create me the person that you want me to be. That's why where I am right now, this is a vocation for me, and this is a ministry for me. Since I'm not anymore in the ministry work, but I consider this, and I ask the Lord, you are the only one who could get me out of the ministry where you have put me. So whatever I do right now, I know that this is also a ministry. That's why before I really explaining, when I'm handling a training and even introducing myself, I first introduce God. So I'm very thankful right now for you people for allowing me to present this scholarship training, because one thing, our advocacy also is for this company is to also help for those indigenous people and those who cannot afford to really have to go to the school. That's why, if you may allow me now, may I present my presentation with you. So about this scholarship training. Good evening again, and may I be a blessing to you people, because you are a blessing to me, giving me the opportunity is to speak in front of you and present what we are offering right now. So I'm from Metrologics Training and Assessment Center Incorporated. As I said, I want to present to you the scholarship training, and this is an orientation about that. So thank you again for giving me this opportunity. So I want this to present to you also for career advancement for those who are in displaced or who needs upskilling. But before I will really proceed po dun sa aking talagang presentation about the training, I want also to announce this, that TESDA gave us a scholarship for Tulong Trabaho Scholarship Program for Instrumentation and Control Servicing NC2 and for Mechatronic Servicing NC2. As what Bishop said, this scholarship is with allowance. Actually, what they have before, when I had a meeting with them before, may free payatang t-shirt. And of course, the assessment also is free. It includes already the assessment. So there's no payment. Instead, they will have allowance. But with this kind of training, Tulong Trabaho Scholarship Program, they have a qualification for the applicant. They need, their priority is OFW na nandito sa Pilipinas, at lalo na yung medyo nawala ng trabaho and they are having a long vacation already and they want to go back to other country. So the OFWs are priorities, and of course the least requirement po is a high school graduate for those who are employed, and then for those employed but need scaling or they are displaced, for example, they are engineering graduate, and then for instrumentation and control engineering, but what they are doing is about the quality management. So we are allowing that to have this so that they could upscale themselves and they could work on the career that they're wanting to. So of course, at this time, if you're going to have the training, you are not supposed in other training and you are not even in education. So if you, may I ask you, for those you know who are interested, they may apply up to July 4 because they are requiring us to submit all the list of those candidates. Actually, it's still subject for qualification or subject for approval of TESDA. So you may email us at manila.metrologics@gmail.com, sarmiento7@gmail.com, and then send us a letter of intent, address it to me, and then together with your TOR, you may send it, the high school diploma or Form 137, and resume as much possible with personal data so we could also assess the applicants. Or for more details, make sure to call us. As you have seen on the screen, 0969562747 and or 0916720739. Now, may I proceed to my presentation? Of course, I want to present first our company so that at least you know our credibility in handling this kind of training. So our mission is to produce a skilled worker who will work with quality, integrity, professionalism, innovation, and competency through our trainings, instruction in the field of instrumentation and automation, mechatronics, electronics and communication, and computer technology in line with the guidelines and competency standard set forth by Technical Skill and Development, TESDA, Professional Regulation Commission, PRC, and Commission on Higher Education, CHE, that they can be globally competitive technician and technology. With our training, aside that we are registered with TESDA, and we are also registered with OWWA. Once we have to register in OWWA, they are requiring us that our qualification to be registered in OWWA, it should be registered in TESDA. They will not accept things that are not, or qualification that are not registered with TESDA. But we have other trainings that it's not registered with TESDA, but also registered with PRC. Like for example, for those who's going to take the instrumentation and control servicing NC2, for those who are engineers or technicians who are licensed and they want to renew their license, they will have a CPD points. The CPD points that they are needing for renewing their license. So they are the only one that they will apply for that CPD points. But in case that we offer a training that we are including and register it with PRC for CPD points, and their council is included, like for example, you are electrical engineer, or we included that in our training to avail the CPD points, automatically you will have the CPD points that we are the one who's going to register that in PRC. So our trainings are also registered in PRC. All the qualification that we have in TESDA, they are also registered in PRC. Actually, our instrumentation, they gave us 120 points, and even more than that you need for your CPD points to renew your license. And then our vision is to become the ideal and prominent training center amongst other training institutions for instrumentation, control, and automation technology, and its related field for technicians and engineers dedicated quality, integrity, professionalism, innovation, and competency, so as to contribute to the development of individuals, the nation, and the world. So ito po yung aming ano dito sa organization table. Actually, we're only branch here in Manila. Our main is in Cebu. So our president, who is based in Cebu, is engineer Jeffrey Zamora, who is also an electrical engineer. And our boss here in Manila, who is a part owner also of Metrologics, who is a system engineer, though he is a graduate of ICT, but he became a system engineer since he became a vice president of OWWA for system engineering department. And then we have this other, Ma'am Isabelita, Ma'am Christine, and these engineers that we have, aside from, they are the one handling the face-to-face training, assisting us, the actual hands-on for the equipment that they're going to manipulate or to understand how to manipulate or how to do the calibration, configuration, especially for instrumentation and for mechatronics. So aside from being our assistant, there are also an engineers for our projects. So this is our trainer, of course, here in Manila, as I already introduced, Mr. Teodoro Jose D. Punsalan. He is the trainer for instrumentation, DCS, PLC, and mechatronics, NC2. And Sir Manny, Engineer Manuel C. Rodriguez, who 3 decade in abroad, offshore commissioning. He is also an expert in instrumentation, who also became a consultant in different companies, and even in Singapore and even here in Manila. And he was my president with my other school where I taught, or where I became an instructor professor. So I myself, I'm handling mechatronics and instrumentation NC2, and Sir Manny is instrumentation NC2 and C3. Of course, the first company that we have is Presidium. So we are, up to now, we have this company, our sister company, who gives services in instrument calibration and installation and maintenance contracts, and some PLC maintenance also on some services for PLC and DCS. So started Metrologics in 2011 in Cebu, and we started Metrologics here in Manila, although the operation is last 2017. So we are TESDA accredited training and assessment center. So we are not only a training center, we are also assessment center. So for those who had their training with us, most automatically they will have their assessment with us, since we are accredited assessment center also, with these 3 qualifications, as you have seen in the on the screen. Okay, this is our facility. that we have. As you could see, we have the panel board teaching how to configure it on the controller. So of course, we have a plant industrial process distillation combustion using simulators. So we have the simulator plant being used in the studying or taking up the instrumentation and even running it through the connection for DCS or PLC. And we have the Thematic 7 1500 we are using for micro mini mid PLC, HMI, WinCC, SCADA. So we have the demo plant being used also. Okay, so I will not talk much about this collaborative process automation. So I may introduce to you our location. We are located here in Manila in Buendia, 98 Senator Hill, Puyat, fourth floor in Essential Building, Pasay City. It's before World Trade, and we are located at fourth floor Magcono Building at C. Cortez Avenue in Mandaue City, Cebu. That is our main shape. So this is one thing that I have to introduce to you. The courses registered in TESDA, OWWA, and I said this training that we are having are all registered in PRC. So the instrumentation and control servicing NC2, we are having that for 30 days. That is the TR or training regulation of TESDA. So we have to strictly comply to the training regulation of TESDA. So for 30 days, since we have already migrated since pandemic, so for 20 days, it should be online, which is asynchronous and synchronous, and 10 days for face-to-face. For NC3, actually it's NC3, I'm sorry. I thought I already edited it, but it seems I did not. So the NC3 has 178 hours, so it has 22 days. So for 7 days, it's face-to-face, and for 15 days, it's online training, which is also asynchronous and synchronous. For electronic servicing, we have 20 days for that, and 15 days online and 5 days face-to-face. Now for system engineering series, as I've said, it is not accredited with only registered in PRC. So for those who are wanting to upscale their knowledge about instrumentation and mechatronics, because this is about automation also, about PLC SCADA fundamentals or PLC hybrid HMI and SCADA engineering, or PAS, PCS, DCS. It is DCS, distributed control system, and the PLC is programmable logic controller. So this one, the TESDA scholarship program. For TTS people, I may clarify it, they could already accept 16 years old for that kind of training. But for other training like the Train for Work scholarship program, they're only allowing 18 years old and above. But for, as I already said to you, the qualification they are needing for Tulong Trabaho scholarship program, actually it's more complicated and more strict compared with TWSP. And of course, with others, there are those other training that they still giving them a toolkit, but it depends on the training that is being offered for scholarship by TESDA. Well, educational attainment shall be based on industry requirements as prescribed in the relevant training regulation, can either be out of school youth, TVET trainers, or industry workers obtaining skills upgrading training programs. Priority shall be given to those without prior formal or vocation trainings, as well as those coming from regions or provinces with the absolute number of full residents and the incidence poverty are high, as identified in the latest official poverty statistics of the PSA and SCBN programs. Actually, we have a diploma, TESDA has diploma course, but our company, our training center is still working for that. We could have a diploma course, especially for those who are not able to go to tertiary or college. For example, for instrumentation, that's one thing that we are applying for diploma course. You will finish the NC2 for only more than a month, and NC3 for also a bit more than a month also, and 1 month for commissioning, actually NC4, and you could have the diploma NC5, which is diploma course. It means that you could have a diploma for at least less than 2 years or even less than even a year only. So priority shall be given to those without prior formal or vocational trainings. And then other clientele groups such as persons with disability, meron pong mga ganyan, indigenous people, solo parents and their children, senior citizens shall be afforded access to scholarship opportunities in the qualification courses where they can qualify. OFW returnees, members of the families of armed forces, and PNP personnel killed in military and police operations, and other marginalized groups that may also avail on the scholarship program subject to pre-qualification and must not be currently a beneficiary of government educational scholarship. So, like OWWA po. So, yung sa OWWA naman po, ito po yon. Meron, iba po yung scholarship na binibigay ng TESDA. So, iba po rin po, although I've told you that we cannot register any qualification if it's not registered with TESDA. So, those qualifications that we have and register with TESDA are instrumentation, NC2, NC3, and mechatronics NC2 only. There are 3 only. So it means that whatever amount of our regular training, I will be giving you our regular payment for our regular training. It's only 14,500 will OWWA handle. So it's only 14,500 that you will not pay. For example, we have for instrumentation, for regular training, it's amounting to 25,000. So it means the 14,500 will be deducted, which OWWA will pay for that, and then you will only pay for 10,500. So it could be availed by OFWs, land-based or seaman with account overseas employment certificate and OWWA members. And it could also be transferred to immediate family members, spouse, children, and immediate relative po. So pwede po yun. Then when you're going to apply for OWWA, you have to go to OWWA and then you have to tell them that you are intending to take a training, and then they will give you a copy of the requirements that they will be getting from a certain training institution. Like for example, you're going to have your training with us. So you will have to ask those requirements that they are needing from us, then we will give it to you, and then you will again submit it to OWWA, and it's OWWA who will give you the approval. And then when you are approved, you could bring it to us so that we could accept you to a training with scholarship from OWWA. So, you know, OWWA building is also nearby in our office. It is also in FB Harrison, Pasay Metro Manila, in OWWA building po. And then, ayan po yung aming metrologics training fees. For NC2 of instrumentation, 25,000. For NC3, bootcamp, 18,500. And for mechatronics, 22,500. Since I've told you that we have strictly complying for the training regulation of TESDA, but we add a certain topic that they may able to understand more of instrumentation and control NC2 po. Kaya that's why we called it bootcamp for those controllers, because there is a saying po, just a bit explanation of instrumentation. You cannot control anything that you cannot measure. So you have to understand more of the controller, why it should be there and how important it is to control whatever things that you have measured. So those are the things that, and it is very in demand po, especially for when we talk about instrumentation, it's for process. And when we talk about mechatronics, it's about factory automation. So for instrumentation, it's more of in oil and oil refinery, chemical industry, oil and gas, those are for process. And then for mechatronics, it's about manufacturing, more of manufacturing, because especially for robotic, or like for example, even in automation in the building. So, okay, so I may not give you any more for careers in the automation, though I will give you the different industry. You may have a career, but I will not give any more those positions. You may have it in factory automation industry like mechatronics, since mechatronics is about uh, pneumatic and electro-pneumatic, how to automate a certain machineries or even some system, like for example, conveyor, like here, as you can see in packaging. But of course, although in building automation, we have also have automation then, and even because we are, even instrumentation is being used because we have to measure temperature so that we could sustain the temperature inside a certain building. And even for mechatronics or using the PLC for conservation of energy. If there's no person around, the lighting or the electricity will put off automatically. So these are the things here, and even the machinery, logic controller, and as I've said, in process automation, because anything that is not being controlled, it will be a disaster, or it will be endangering people, especially those who are working in a certain plant or process. Okay, so manufacturers of instrument or distributors, suppliers, manufacturers, representative, system integrators. These are the things that you could have a career. Okay, design, application, engineering, procurement, users of instrument industries. So I will not give any more these different positions. So before, actually, this one, I was not able to change this statistics that we have or amount of industrial automation salaries. This is, I don't know, for those who are in Saudi, in last 2017 or 2018, these are the amount of those fitter technician or control system technician, instrument engineer are getting for the kind of work that they are having. So thank you very much. So the advocacy of our company is building futures and changing lives. Well, I hope with the help of God, also introducing also in our training center, how God would really help us in whatever things that we are doing, putting God first. Actually, my favorite verse also is Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So thank you very much for this opportunity for giving me. And if you have any question or clarification, if you may allow me, you may ask questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, beloved sister Sarmiento. Salamat po. And I have some idea somehow na po sa inyong napag-usapan at na-discuss, sister. When I was in Manila, when my family was in Manila, I was also connected with the largest industrial organization po, Uptown Industrial Marketing. We do have yun, mga controllers po, tayo, etc., etc. And the trainings that you're offering, actually, maganda po siyang package. No? We used to send lots of sales engineers sa company po namin sa Manila before, para mas malalim po yung kanilang training na magagamit po nila sa sales. And also in attendance, Pastor Robert, you're into this ano po, no? Pastor Robert or Pastor Phil, yung ganito pong mga linya.
Ayun sa amin po, more on automation.
There you are. Okay.
Remote automation.
Okay. Si Pastor Robert is also into instrumentation po ba, Pastor Robert, or maintenance?
Instrumentation din po kami dito, Pastor. At sa PLC po kami. At automation din po, mostly sa amin po dito. PLC and automation.
Okay. So, Ma'am Sai, you have the right audience somehow, no po, who are into this specialized field. And sabi po ni Ma'am Sai, if we do have some questions or clarifications or reactions na baka may mga anak po tayo, no, na very much interested, maganda pong tulong ito na maibibigay. And some other participants po natin who may react or comment accordingly. Okay, sige. Pastor of Lawrence, palitan po tayo into this facilitating. Ayan, si Pastor Ram siguro po ito. No, Pastor Florence, nagtaas ng kamay. Ayan. He will not let the night go without letting his voice be heard. Pastor Ram.
Tanong po namin, kailangan po matapos ang estudyante namin ng yung K-12 bago po siya maka-enter or apply for scholarship dito po sa programang ito?
Yes, ma'am. Kailangan po na high school graduate kasi that's the least qualification that they are asking for this kind of training. Yes, ma'am.
Opo, kasi po, yung ibang mga universities, para makapag-decide na yung bata, after they graduated from grade 10, tuloy-tuloy na po silang pumapasok ng grade 11 to 12, and then tuloy-tuloy na po sa kurso na gusto nila. So with this one po, after graduating from grade 10, hindi pa po pala sila pwedeng dumire-diretso na hindi pa po.
Hindi pa po. Hindi pa po. Kasi po, we consider the high school after grade 12 po. Yun na po kasi ngayon. It's not yung pong fourth year high school. So, it means grade 12 na po tayo ngayon. So, although, actually, we're applying also for CHED, DepEd rather, DepEd, para po kasi pwede pong ipasok namin to, yun po yung inaasikaso namin, ipasok ito to be part of their curriculum in their school. Like, kunwari, mechatronics po. For a certain number of days lang din po. But of course, meron din silang qualification na dapat yung layo ng training center namin with their school is only 8 kilometers the most. Ganun po. May mga requirements po. Hindi po basta pwedeng, kumbaga, ibigay dun, like for example, if it's a public school po, usually, hindi po pwedeng malayo po. Kasi they are considering also those youth or children that are going to take the training po and part of their curriculum. Ganun po ang mangyayari. So, that's one thing. I've already made a recommendation, but since nagkaroon po agad ng pandemic, so medyo naudlot po. So, yun po din yung wino-workout namin to be part of DepEd para nga po ma-introduce na rin ang mechatronics. But with this kind of TESDA scholarship program po, iba po to. Kasi po ito, when we talk about TESDA, it's more of skill. And ang ano rin po natin dito agad is matulungan ng mabigyan ng trabaho agad ito. Kaya po tulong trabaho scholarship program that they are wanting to help those especially those out of school youth po. Marami po kasi ngayon ang napatigil na after ng until grade 12. So, yun po kahit papaano kasi sabi nila po noon, yun nga po ang parang naging issue. Sabi nila pagkatapos daw ng grade 12, magkakapag-trabaho na, magkakapag-apply na. But nangyayari, nahihirapan pa rin po itong mga bata kasi siyempre yung mga ibang company po, they're still looking for those college graduate rather than high school graduate. But this po, kasi po, iba po yung skill eh. I remember I attended for UK, TVET, kasi sila more of blue-collar job rather than white-collar job po. Sila po more of technical vocational. Kung tutuusin nga po, mas mataas po ang bayad ng mga technical vocational po. So kaya parang pinupush din po nila. Kasi also, honest to goodness po, there are a lot of students who graduated in college. Like instrumentation, medyo nadi-disappoint ako kasi sabi ko, wow, baga, is this the kind of education that we are having? Although ako rin po, ay more of theory. Okay lang, kasi noon, yung more of theory, we could easily adopt. Like when I started working in Caltex Refinery, sabi ko, oh, ito lang pala ang alam ko, but because of the theory that we know. Pero ngayon, theoretical po talagang, oops, parang I raise my hand, sabi ko, ano bang medyo education po natin, medyo kailangan talagang improve. And especially, what we are having for this training is more of skills. Sa totoo po, sabi nila sa amin, marami po ang sa school namin, hindi kami nakakahawak ng HART, ng Highway Addressable Remote Transducer. And even there are some workers who had the training with us, sinasabi, ma'am, alam mo, hindi kami pinahawak ng sa company, takot ipahawak sa amin yan. Kung tutuusin, hindi po sila nakakahawak, but we are trying to let them use it and learn how to use the communicator. Paano nga ba ito ginagamit? Yun po yung ano namin. Because our advocacy is we really want to give at least, it may not be best for for everything, but at least we are giving our best to give the training po. So yun po yung nakikita ko. So that's why also I have this advocacy na, lalo na pag sa ma'am, thank you that we have learned a lot. We did not learn it from the school. They graduate from college, but they were not able to learn it from college, especially handling and how to calibrate a transmitter, and even how to use the communicator, the heart, how to use it. Of course, it's not a calibrator, it's only a communicator, and how it's to configure so that they could calibrate and part of the calibration. So yun lang po. Yun lang po yung ano namin. So yun din po yung parang concern. Yun na nga po, marami po ang graduate ng high school. Nasabi nga po pwede silang magtrabaho, pero ang nangyari po, kaya po marami ngayong maangal na parents, tanggalin na raw ang senior high school. Kasi ganun din naman, tumagal pa, imbes na mag-college na, yun lang po. And then, of course, this is an opportunity but what TESDA is offering to us, especially for marami pong talagang, lalo na po dun sa hindi kayang magbayad ng training. But there are those who are already working who can afford, marami po corporate training po na nagpupunta po sa amin, like for example, the, what's this, ano bang company to? Well, Avoitis, from even coming from Danao, and then Shell, yan po, yung mga ano po. Kasi they are needing that. At marami din po akong nakita na although they are having their instrumentation practice, but they are still lacking of something. Yun po yun. Yun lang po yung ano ko, especially those who are asking for assessment already. Although, of course, madali lang nga nilang magawa because they have already understood what is instrumentation. But they're still lacking. That's why there are those companies that are sending their people to have the skills, to additional skills, but what they are really needing for their works. Yun po yun. So yun po yun. I'm being honest. And even ako naman po is diretsahan din sa nakikita ko lang po. Sa na-experience ko po. Kaya medyo nalulungkot po ako. That's why also, actually, we have many applicants for our instrumentation who are graduate of RTU kasi sa RTU po ang may instrumentation na course eh. That's why they are, kasi nga na-pass on na nila dahil sabi nila, marami na pong nakagraduate sa amin from RTU that they've learned yung hands-on kasi hindi nila masyadong nagagawa sa school, in college. That's why, lalo na pag may scholarship po. That's why I'm also offering it to you. If you know somebody who are wanting to take this scholarship, this is an opportunity for these people, especially those who cannot afford to have it and even who cannot afford to be in college. So we may even help them in some ways. Yun po. At saka ngayon po, most of the company are requiring national certification po. Kaya that's why many companies now here in the Philippines are sending their employees to have their workers to have the training or have their assessment already. Yun po, nag-ahingi na po sila ng national certification po.
If I may humbly butt in, Sister Sai, na po, way back in the past, humbly speaking, I was a member of TAP, the Technical Advisory Panel of TESDA, during the time of Director General Edilberto Santos, and way back. And based on your presentation, i-congratulate ko po kayo kasi napaka-importante yung hands-on. And it seems yung sa mga picture po ninyo, up to date yung mga ginagamit po nyo na pwedeng i-hands-on. Nung time namin, when I was in the top, outdated, nakaka-hands-on mga estudyante, pero mga luma na mga instrumentation and everything. Kaya po, hindi po makahabol sa standard na hinihingi ng industries. Now, based on your presentation, the pictures I was looking intently, yun yung kailangan ng estudyante. Now, one query that I have in mind, or let's please clarify on this. So, ibig sabihin po, kung makagraduate na po ng high school at ayaw nila o hindi nila kayang dumiretso ng college, pwede na po silang dumiretso sa training na ino-offer nyo, and if and when they finish and get their appropriate NC2 certification and tests successfully, makakapagtrabaho na po agad sila. Tama po ba, Ma'am Sai?
Opo. Kasi naman po like, for example po, kami po, for our trainees, we have 6 batches last 2019 and fortunately, we were offered a project in a biopower plant in La Carlota in Negros. So those trainees that we have, 40 of them, I think 40 or 50 of them, we sent them. Actually, it's not an OJT, already a worker, but of course, it's a project. So they were able to compensate as what the government is giving for, not even for minimum wage, but also for the ability that they have already for the instrumentation. So they were able to do the work already, and even they got an additional knowledge since they already work in the biopower plant, and they have already the actual things that they have learned from the training, and they applied it already during the project that we have.
Sister Sai, pasensya na po sa ibang participants, ano? Medyo nakiliti kasi ako sa mga sinasabi ni Ma'am Sai. And way back in TESDA, we also have, if you remember Ma'am Sai, yung STTP, Skills Technology Transfer Program,
Meron pa yun.
wherein, halimbawa, ang query ko po is, are you into this? Kasi kayo yung magti-training. And then, under the STTP program of TESDA, way back, na po, yung nakikita nyong magaling na estudyante ninyo, you can have them under yung sa sending organization and under that, the sending companies. And if you may have contacts abroad, let's say in Japan, yung mga accepting organizations and accepting companies, yun yung isang magandang nagawa sa TESDA before, para po yung makakapasa sa training po ninyo, may talagang trabaho na mapupuntahan, learning the technology on the real job abroad, and then habang nag-training at the same time kumikita sila ng malaki, pag-uwi po nila ng Pilipinas. Kaya technology transfer, may papasok agad sila sa mga kumpanya na nangangailangan ng experiences and the trainings that they had abroad. Yun yung sa part po ng sending and accepting companies. Do you have also this connection, Ma'am Sai, para mas maganda yung package na ating pwedeng i-offer or ipaalam?
Wala na po ngayon eh. But usually po, like for example, Suwal, I don't know if you know Suwal Power Plant, they are asking us kung meron kaming maisasend na trainees namin. And even some, I think in Bulacan, I forgot the company, binabalikan po nila kami if they could send those trainees that we have. Since yun nga po, parang siguro word of mouth po. So we are sending them. And of course, pag may project po kami, kasi since we have also a sister company, like I've shown you, we have Presidium Company. Pag meron po kaming project, ang inuuna po namin ang trainees namin. But of course, like ang usually nga pong nangyayari din ngayon, they are asking, ma'am, pwede bang kayo ang aking reference? Okay, sige, pagtawagan. So, kumbaga, like that po ang nangyayari. So, we are giving them the opportunity to be we will be a reference for whatever application that they are making. So, yun po. Kung saan man sila nag-a-apply ng trabaho, yun po yung nangyayari ngayon. Kasi po parang wala na ngayon yung SSTP. And then actually po, bawal nga po ang isang training center na merong agency. Pinagbabawal po yan. Kasi po lalo na nung nangyari, ang mga nangyayari po, kasi meron na pong, di ba, yung mga housekeeping. Tapos yung pong, ang nangyayari, pag, di ba, palpak po sa pagdating, lalo na hindi yata na-train, kasi siyempre po sa ibang bansa, mga ano po yan mga, kumbaga, mga automated na rin na mga ginagamit, mga high-tech na mga washing machine. And then kung nanggaling po sa probinsya, ang isang ipadadala sa training, inassess naman na walang alam, and then they be sending it, kawawa po yung ano. Kaya that's one thing na naging mahigpit po ang TESDA about it. So wala po talagang kailangang agency. But with our company, like po yung isa kong naming staff, actually it's his brother who asked me, ma'am, baka naman po pwedeng parang, sige, tanungin mo siya, ano ba gusto niya? Sabi ko, sige, we will train her rather. So since naman siya she's only a high school graduate, baka madali po siyang makaintindi. That's why she became now part of our training center, and of course, she is assisting for our trainings, lalo na sa actual, and then pag may project kami, sinasama din namin siya, but of course, he's now our processing officer and liaison officer for TESDA work po niya. So yun po ang binigay namin sa kanyang opportunity, that since na ano po, yung mga, if we have the opportunity, we are giving them, if there are those like po yung si Sir Manny, meron po siyang mga connection din sa ibang bansa and even some company. So sabi niya, say may kailangan tayo, so we are sending those trainees that we have also. Yun po ang nangyayari.
Okay, last interest ko po, lulubos-lubosin ko na po, with due respect with other participants. Ma'am Zai, example, si Pastora Florence, na yung co-facilitator po natin, may eskwelahan po sila, mga teachers ito. Is it possible na pwede po kayo ma-invite para maka-orient sa kanilang mga estudyante? Para these students will also know, meron palang ganitong avenue na pwede sila magtrabaho, malaki sahod. We're talking of $2,000 pataas, di ba? So, maganda. Sa una, siguro sa kaedad namin ni Pastor Robert, diba, Pastor, no? Merong mga career, career something na orientation sa mga eskwelahan para magka-idea yung estudyante kung anong course ang kuhain nila in relation sa gusto nilang trabaho. So, going back to the query, pwede po kayo ma-invite, no? And I'm sure sila Pastora Florence, meron ganyan po kayo sa eskwelahan dyan, sa abroad, orientation sa mga estudyante. And Ma'am Sai can be a good speaker on this line of work.
Yes, this is an opportunity and this is an honor to be invited po. Okay naman po. Opo. It's very much welcome po. Opo. No, ano po yan? This is also my ministry, as I've told you, to be here in this kind of job. This is also a ministry to me, especially how I should handle. Kasi po ako po in a sense na mahigpit to be in the right position. Kumbaga sabi ko nga, do the right thing but do not make things right. So yun po. Kaya that's why, kasi po, the way I teach, I'm showing who am I'm presenting who am I, but I love them. That's why I usually tell them I care for them. That's why I'm doing this to them. So, yun po yun. And then, kaya po ngayon po din, baka po may mga kakilala kayo kasi with mechatronics, medyo marami pa po ang kailangan namin na, baka dito po sa Pilipinas, meron kayong mga kakilala na they are wanting to have this kind of training. Yan po, baka meron pa po kayong mga kakilala. So, para din po matulungan natin. And then sana nga po, ang prayer ko nga din po, matuloy yung diploma course namin para for those who cannot afford to go to college po is makatapos din po ng ICT, not going to college, but having the diploma course with this kind of qualification po.
Sige po, I raise my queries. And for now, nagtaas po ng kamay si Pastor Robert at Pastora Susan. Pastor Robert, kayo po siguro mauna.
Po. Ma'am Sai, regarding po sa educational scholarship, may mga course ba na certain course lang para ma-avail para dito o vocational courses o ang kailangan lang po ba na maano sa scholarship? At paano po kung nasa college na siya at gusto niyang magtuloy-tuloy, mag-graduate na po siya pero gusto magtuloy sa another course, pwede ba siyang maka-avail pa rin po ng scholarship?
Ganito po, meron po nga po kasi iba-ibang klase ng scholarship. Like when we have the Train for Work scholarship program, although napaka-iba nga po ng aming focal person sa TESDA, sabi niya, ma'am, sorry po, tagalan, ganyan. Sabi ko, it's okay. Sabi ko, actually, meron po yung Train for Work scholarship program for those college students na pwede din pong mag-apply doon. Kasi kumbaga lalo na mga instrumentation talaga estudyante po, they want to learn more of instrumentation talaga, lalo na po yung actual, I'm accepting them. Lalo kung hindi po magiging conflict with the schedule of the training. Lalo na kung bakasyon po nila, pwede ko po silang accept. But for this tulong trabaho scholarship program po, hindi po qualified yung mga nasa education ngayon, kundi yung pong mga walang trabaho, displaced yung ginagawa, kumbaga they need upskilling. Like for example po nga, kumbaga ang trabaho niya, natapos niya is instrumentation, engineering, pero ito lang ang ginagawa niya, parang ganun po, and need upskilling. Marami po kaming graduate, ang kinakalibrate lang mga weighing scale, hindi mga transmitter or hindi mga kumbaga valve. So, tinatanggap po yun pag ilalagay lang po upskilling for those who are employed. But this time po, TTSP po namin, hindi po sila pwede dun sa mga nag-aaral po at saka nasa training po. So, yun po. Pero po gusto nila mag-training, like ngayon po, marami po sa RTU ang nag-apply, taga-graduate lang po nila itong June. Sabi ko, ang lagi pag sinadwag, graduating ka, pag sinabi mong graduating, is you're still in education. I'm sorry po, sige, you give me the proof that you already finished all the requirements to graduate, sabi niya. And then, yun po, tinatanggap po namin yon with this kind of tulong trabaho scholarship program. So yun po, pwede naman pong maging yung, kasi sa totoo po kailangan po ng mga college students, kahit natapos na po, ng hands-on. Kahit po ako kailangan ko po nung actual talaga, kung hindi po, although yun nga po, kaya po ako nagpunta sa field doon para matutunan ko rin po. Then I'm very thankful kasi na-assign din po ako sa pipeline, sa project ng pipeline po. Yun po yung aking naging trabaho when I was in the field. So ano pa po yung, masagot ko po ba Brother Robert, yung inyo po, Pastor Robert, yung inyong tanong? O baka malayo po yung sagot ko?
So, okay na po.
Yun po. Ngayon
Naintindihan.
Oo po.
Kasi po yung anak ko po kasi kanina naka-join sa atin at siya po ay nasa graduating na siya ngayon kasi nasa fourth year college na siya. So ang plano po namin kasi ay magpatuloy pa sa ibang course para maano po yung course niya. So yun po lang kung sakali, sabi ko nga na kung pwede na maka-avail siya ng scholarship ulit dito sa OWWA.
Sa OWWA pwede po. Pwede naman po. Pwede naman po siya sa OWWA Ngayon po, kung kayo po gagamitin niya yung membership niyo, kasi pwede naman po sa immediate family yan or pwede niya pong gamitin. Yun lang nga po, ang binabayaran lang po ng OWWA, as I said, 14,500 lang po. For the amount of 25,000, you will still gonna pay for 10,500 po. Pero pwede niya pong gamitin yan if we want to have the training ng like instrumentation po. Pwede naman po yun. Kasi maraming din pong ganyang ginawa na nag-attend sa amin ng training, ginamit nila yung sa parents nila. Yun po, when college graduate na po, ginamit po nila kasi nga they want to learn. And there are also those nurses na nag-migrate po talaga. Now, nasa Saudi na po, instrumentation po ang naging trabaho, hindi na. And even there are those who are cameraman of Channel 7, nagmarites pa nga ako sa kanya, joke lang. But anyway, nag-training siya ng instrumentation. And then, after that, ng training niya, nakapunta na po siya sa abroad. Kasi nung sa cameraman, hindi po siya. So, he went abroad na po. Sa Middle East na rin po siya ngayon. So, cameraman po siya. So, he migrated into instrumentation po. Doon po siya nakapag-abroad. Kasi mas in demand po ang instrumentation abroad. Although here in the Philippines, like yung JJ Summit po, Gokongwei is putting up a coal power plant in Batangas po. Yan po yung mga po sa mga instrumentation din po and even mechatronics. Yan po yung mga in demand sa mga instrumentation po. Okay po.
Pastora Susan, Pastora Flore, narinig yan, Marites. Marites daw, oo. Sige, baka may Marisol din dyan. Pastora Flore, ayun na po.
Christian Marites po si Ate Sai. Ayun po, nag-raise hand po si Pastusan, Pasram.
Opo,
Ano
ako
po yun?
ako po yung may gustong itanong kasi kanina habang nagkukwentuhan po si Kuya Rico at si Ma'am Sai, parang narinig ko po na if someone is working in the field of engineering 5 years more, parang meron po yata kayong nabanggit na pwede siyang I don't know kung mabigyan ng diploma or whatever.
Ma-certify.
Ma-certify po siya as an engineer.
Ganito po yon. If you are only a graduate of ICT, Instrumentation and Control Technology, kasi meron po tayong organization for instrumentation, the PICS, the Philippine Instrumentation and Control Society po. Ngayon po, pag kayo po ay 5 years na nag-work and then tapos nag-work po kayo as a supervisor, you could take an examination and PICS and be considered as an engineer. Engineer po. Ganun po yun.
Actually po yung question ko is para sa elder brother ko po. Yan po
Ayan
yung,
po siya,
yung
nanonood
Eric
siya.
Kayabyab po.
Nahihiya siyang magtanong.
He's working sa Cobelco po, yung kanyang company ngayon.
Opo, ano siya?
Sige.
Supervisor po kasi siya. Magtanong ka na, Kuya Eric.
Yun po yung ano ko. Katapos po, yung iba pong, medyo po may contact ako sa ibang director ng part. And even my boss here in Manila is one of the board of director in PICS. So siguro po,
Okay.
ito din po.
Okay, actually po ako'y product ng out of school youth automotive, and then nag-experience ako sa Saudi Arabia as a rotating helper, ganyan, until I reach na, dahil mayroon akong background in mechanical, so I reach yung position na medyo naging leader, tapos naging foreman, naging supervisor. And after that, marami akong napuntahan during nagkaroon ako ng experience sa maintenance, nag-experience ako sa construction, pag-install ng mga rotating equipment, maging sa mga static ay naranasan ko. And then one time, ang Japan ay nangangailangan ng katulad namin at nagkaroon ako ng pagkakataon po na ay ma-shortlist sa kanilang pangangailangan. And natugunan ko naman po ang kanilang pangangailangan. So in Japan, once you are operating or commission an equipment, they are called you engineers. Not necessarily as design engineer, but you are engineer ka sa equipment, specific na equipment na yon. So kaya yung dala-dala naming category is commissioning, installation and commissioning engineer. So we are, ganun po ang aming category. So ngayon, ang aking nagagamit lang na, dahil hindi naman talaga ako nagtapos, pero mayroon akong pumasok ka ng college, pero hindi ako natapos. Aircraft maintenance engineer sana po. Kaso hindi natapos dahil nga nung panahon na yun, pumutok pa yung pinatubo, kaya medyo Kaya proud ako na kung sakali ay related po kasi sa amin yan, yung instrumentation. Pagka po kasi in-install namin yung isang package, so nandyan na po yung mga instrumentation. Hanggang sa Bentley, Nevada, nilalagay po namin yan at ini-install namin hanggang sa PLC. But then mayroon pong separation of designation. I'm in mechanical at iba naman po yung sa instrumentation. So gusto ko sana kung halimbawa makapag-avail ako dyan sa plano ng inyo pong departamento, ay gusto ko sanang matuto rin ng ma-certified as instrumentation and controls para makumpleto ko yung buong package kahit na wala nang vendor na dumating na as in Cobelco is kaya ko ng Pero sa site kasi nagkakandak din kami kasi ng mga trainings dun sa mga operators how to operate the equipment na pinoprodukto po namin in Japan. Yun po yung aking nais. Thank you, Pastor Ramel. At magandang gabi po sa lahat. Kaya nung malaman ko itong ganitong programa ay talagang interesado ko at willing naman akong magturo balang araw sa mga out of school youth naman kung sakasakali. At encourage yung mga tao rito kasi po dito sa Pampanga walang environment ng planta. Kaya medyo parang hindi sila interesado. Kalpintero po kasi sa Pampanga eh. So Dambataan, Batangas, Iligan, yan po mga planta po ang mga ano diyan.
Opo. So, sir, how may I call you, sir? Eric? Brother Eric?
Opo, brother po pwede.
Nasaan po kayo ngayon? Nasa Pampanga po?
Nasa Pilipinas na po kami after kasi ng training 3 years nung nagkaroon ng thumbs up ang aming company. Gumawa po sila ng company rito sa Makati. So dito na kami ngayon, nasa office, at pag walang business trip ay sa office lang po kami. Pag mayroong business trip, doon lang po kami lumalabas.
So, pwede ko po kayo kung gusto nyo po mapasama sa training. Ganito po yun eh. Kasi po ngayon, like for example, hindi ka po pwedeng kumuha ng fix ng parang exam po doon. Parang board exam, pero hindi naman po. Para as a technician. Pero po, once you have the NC2 po, makakonsider ka rin pong technician. Then, I could give you an opportunity that you may able to take. Kaya ilalagay ko lang po dun sa iyong parang criteria is you are employed but need upskilling. Yun po,
Okay.
pwede. So, you could, and then after the training, you have to take the assessment. Requirement po yan eh. Kasi
Opo.
yan, so magkakaroon ka ng assessment. And then if you will have the assessment, siguro po tapos na practice mo, if you want to take, parang take the examination in PICS, pwede po yun. And then kung meron ka na rin 5 years na sa instrumentation po, we could also have the examination for siguro yun nga as considered to be an engineer. Yun po yun. Kasi kung supervisor ka na for 5 years, kumbaga experiencing or having that kind of work, pwede po yun. So pero po, if you are really interested, since I've already shown, pinasa ko po rin kay Kuya Rico, actually kumpare ko po si Rico, Rico lang ang tawag ko dyan po, sorry, Rico lang po, parang ano lang po kami, Kuya Rico, si Rico po, yung pong aming advertisement kung saan ka po pwedeng mag-email and then send the requirements that I'm asking para po makasama ka sa aming training if you want, if you are really interested. So yun naman po, yung training na yun is online for 20 days and then 10 days face-to-face training. Doon po sa online, ganito po, medyo mahigpit lang po ngayon ang TESDA. Biometric po ang attendance. So it is po kukuhanan ka BSRS po, biometric ngayon ang attendance. So kailangan meron kang cellphone or gadget na kaya kang kuhanan pag mag-a-attendance po. Yun po yun. Tuturuan naman kayo paano po yan kasi once we have submitted the name and then the focal test, the person who are in charge of this training will even orient you how to do the BSRS po. Pati po kami mga trainer and even our registrar po. So if you are interested, you may submit para po ma-include kita sa list namin ng candidates po ng training for instrumentation and control servicing po. Yun po, if you kung pwede po kayo sa po. And then ganito po ang nangyayari during the training. Pag sinabi ko pong online asynchronous, meron po kaming LMS, learning materials, yung Genomio site namin. Although we are revising it na ilagay namin sa Moodle po. Para po kasi itong actually yung learning materials namin, free po siya. Kaya pagpasok nyo, ang dami pong advertisement. So we have to have it in Moodle. So medyo nagkakaroon po kami ng migration. So inaayos po namin. Pero yan po, pag sinabi nating asynchronous, you have to work on the activities that is in our LMS or in Genomio. Yun po yun. And then there is a certain hour, every day po yun, at least 3 hours po. Sa totoo lang po kasi, handling the training online, medyo sa iba pong mga trainings, kahit po ako, boring na po ang napakahaba, especially if you're going to do that the whole day. Kaya po merong LMS, yung learning materials, you're going to do your activities on that according to your pace, and then we will be having a training every day for even 3 hours, and then meron pong mga attendance. Binibigay ko na po sa inyo yung situation if you want to avail the training. Kasi kahit din po dun sa aming nagbabayad, katulad on Monday, I will be starting trainees dun sa regular training po namin, meron po talaga silang asynchronous and synchronous po. So, I'm giving them the orientation before everything so that they understand. Yun lang po, pag regular training, hindi po masyadong ganun kaano sa TESDA scholarship. Ngayon po, sir, are you an OFW? Kung kaya nyo naman magbayad ng 10,500, is, kasi yun sa 25,000, less na po, meron po kayo membership ng OWWA, less na po yung 14,500, mas medyo po, mas hindi masyadong mahigpit pag sa regular training po namin. Yun po. Kasi po, pag the first 2 weeks of the regular training, since we have really to comply, yung pong mga, kasi po nire-require talaga ng TESDA, you have to tackle the basic and common competency in preparation for the core competency. For NC2 po, ang kailangan nyo maipasa sa assessment po, installation, calibration, and configuration. There are 3 core competency po. Yun po yun. So if you want to really migrate in installation and you want to pursue your career in instrumentation, so you may have even the NC3. Ang NC3 po is about loop checking and maintenance and repair. And then the NC4 po is commissioning. Yun po yun. And then if we were able to finish already our application for a diploma course, you might take the diploma course and have your diploma as technology. Yun po yun. But with the NC2, you may have your certification already if you pass. Actually, it's not pass. Competent and not yet competent. Hindi po sila sabing failed. Competent and not yet competent po. Oh, Sir Eric, I'm offering you now. If you want to be part of the scholarship, ano po? Oh, nag-isip ka ngayon, kaya ko ba?
Hindi. Kasi po, yung po kasing nature ng work namin is for business trip always out of country or over the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So, sa August po kasi mayroon po akong schedule again in India kasi kagagaling ko lang ng Malaysia. So, ngayon nasa office lang kami muna ngayon. So, yun po yung aking kasing kung ko pa gustong mag-online learning din sa automotive. Actually po, mayroon ako kasing certificate in automotive but under of NMYC. Kaya ngayon, ang nangyari, TESDA na pala yung aming training center dito sa Tabang. Kaya, yun po yung ano. Gusto nila mag-assess sa kuli ng assessment para makakuha ko daw ako ng NC1 and NC2. So, yun po yung kanilang sinasabi.
Sa automotive po.
Opo, sa automotive. Yun po kasi naging stepping ko dun sa aking pagka-mechanical ngayon.
If you want to migrate in instrumentation, you have to decide po. Kasi kung talaga, ano ba talagang gusto mong path to walk?
Actually po, ang instrumentation is part of our project. Kapag it is a package. Like the screw compressor, it is nandun na lahat ng instrument, the controls and everything. Yung Bentley, nandyan yan, yung mga proximeter, yung mga gauges, kino-commission, nagko-commission na po kasi ako ng isang equipment ng yung aking specialization. So, kaya pagka pinadala kami is nandun na po kami lahat. So, ang kulang lang kasi yung pong yung talagang hands-on ay yung certified ganyan. So, kailangan nang dumaan sa proseso para magkaroon.
Okay. Okay po. If you want to take the assessment, although could you calibrate a transmitter?
Hindi po kasi sa aming mayroong kanya-kanya kaming department.
Kasi po, ayun po as I said, in instrumentation po.
Opo. Kaya
kailangan po yun.
Kailangan. Kasi mayroong pong mga installation, tapos calibration, tapos paggano ng mga valvula, yung flow valve, mga pneumatic valve, everything. Mga ganun po.
Oo, lalo na po ngayon is more of a smart transmitter po ang ginagamit. So we have the standard required output po. Smart transmitter na po, it's not more of mechanical, it's more of although the mechanical things like for example border tube or like for example yung mga meron na po tayong tinatawag na primary sensor which like for example for temperature measurement. So meron po mga RTD yan, di ba po? Connected siya sa transmitter. Yan po yan. Ang usually po ngayon, smart transmitter na po ang mga ginagamit. That's why we are requiring a signal, current signal po ang nangyayari. So you should know those things, how it works, especially for the instrument loop and even how to read the PNID and hookup detail drawing.
Sa PNID, wala po tayong problema.
Ayun, yun po. That's so,
Yun po kasi yung iba kasing mga gaya ng Germany at saka yung Japan, US, magkakaiba po sila pagdating sa PLC at saka sa DCS di ba po yung control sa DCS doon sa control room, magkakaiba po sila. Anyway po, okay, salamat po sa inyong
basta if you want to take your training for regular training, you may get in touch with us. Yun lang nga, especially if you are our OWWA member, so you could avail it as scholarship.
Ex-OFW.
Yun po. Yun po yun.
I'm a local employee.
Bayad siguro, and then you may get para po maano kayo, and then madali lang naman po, and then get the national certificate.
As long na, okay, akin pong pag-aaralan ito ngayon sa dahil pinicture ko naman po yung kanina. Thank you po, madam.
Welcome.
Ay.
Pero, Ma'am Sai, kasi si Kuya Eric Kayabyab, kapatid po ni Pastor Ram Kayabyab, na OFW ngayon. So, by extension, pwede po bang maka-avail si Kuya Eric?
Immediate family po,
pwede.
Pwede po yata, pwede. Yung binagay ko, sige po, ko rin, tarify ko po ng gusto. Although, nakalagay naman sa sa OWWA po yun Baka pwede niya pong gamitin, and then, yun po, anuhin natin. So, sir, nakangiti si sir, si brother, po.
Basta daw pong hati sa kita.
Ayun. Okay, tuloy-tuloy nyo na, Pastor Susan. Nag-raise hand po kayo.
Opo. Paano naman po sa aming mga zero knowledge about po dito sa instrumentation na ito? Paano po kami makakapag-umpisa? Let's say we are interested. Paano po kami maunawaan namin ng lubusan nito po
Alam niyo po, di ba, if there's a will, there's a way. Kung gusto, may paraan. Yun po naman yun, di ba? Pag gusto mo po, kung talagang gusto mo po matututunan, matututo ka po. Like for example, ako po, when I studied driving, una hindi po ako pwede dinala sa gusto ko matutunan, tinitingnan ko yung driver namin kung paano magawa. Then, dahil gusto ko, natuto po agad ako. Ganun naman po, sir. Kapag gusto natin, especially, talagang interesado to. Di ba sabi nga, I always ask this, what do you want? Skill or passion? Hindi mo po, lalo na when I ask the students, sasabihin nila, kailangan mo skill. Do you think when you are still studying and you are first time in the work, you have already the skill? No. You have to put your passion on what you're going to do, then you will have the skill. Yun naman po ang importante. Basta gusto niyo po, meron nga po sabi sa inyo, actually meron po ngayon nagte-training sa amin, medical technology siya. Kasi sabi niya, ma'am, pupunta po kasi ako sa Australia. So, ganyan. So, actually siya pa ang naging pinakamagaling mag-compute pag binibigyan ko ngayon ng computation. Medical technology siya. Kumbaga, start from zero knowledge about instrumentation. But he puts his interest on the things that he wants to do. So, yun po, he gained the knowledge. Gano'n naman po. Kasi po, di ba, minsan sasabihin, kasi professor namin, it depends on us how much we want to know and what knowledge we want to gain. Yun naman po sa akin. So, kapag gusto po, lagi pong may paraan. Sabi ko nga po, may nurse po na nag-migrate into instrumentation. Nasa abroad na po siya. And even po yung camera ng Channel 7, sabi ko nga po, nag-marites pa ako na kayo. Uy, mga artista. Ngayon po, nasa abroad na rin po siya. Yun po yun. So, kung gusto mo po talaga, pwede po yun. Basta po mahilig kayo din sa meron na nga po high school graduate na basta medyo pag hindi, kailangan matutunan mo yan, kailangan mo yan Minsan ganun po kasi ako, sige, kaya mo yan, yung ginaganon ko na lang po. Kasi kung lalo na nandun naman ang interest ng isang tao, tulungan mo na rin. Yun naman po yung kailangan. Kung nandun po yung interest. Kaya nyo po yun if you really want to. Kakayanin po yan.
Ate Sai, susugan ko agad yung punto po nila Mr. and Mrs. Kayabyab. So yung high school student, na gusto pong dumiretso sa instrumentation, sa inyo pong napapansin, kayang-kaya ba o makaya nila o nahihirapan sila? Kasi very technical eh.
Opo.
High school
Pag
student.
mahina, pag mahina po sa computation, yun po yung napupuna ko. Pag mahina po sa computation, lalo na po kasi, yun nga po ako nalulungkot even college graduate po. For example, the formula is URB minus LRV, negative po. Pero yung value ng LRV is negative, hindi na nila alam ang difference nun. Ganun po. Yun po yung mga problema na nangyayari po. Kahit college graduate po, yung negative, hindi na nila alam kung paano magiging sign. So yun lang po. Although tinuturoan din po naman namin, meron po namang mahina before, but they put their interest on it, nakukuha po nila. Basta nandun naman po sila talaga, all ears sila, and then really wanting to learn, yun naman po, matututunan naman po. Yun lang nga po talaga, medyo yung pag mahina-hina po sa math, yun po ang medyo nahirap. Meron po isa kasing company po yun, company send as trainees. Sa kala ko boiler ang hinahawakan nila, pero they don't know about instrumentation and there are only high school graduates. So talagang nahirapan po ako, kaya medyo sinabi ko, hindi sila pwede sa ganitong training. Though they are working in the boiler, but they do not know instrumentation, they have to go to this kind of training. Hindi sila pwede dun sa isang training na ino-offer namin. So pinaano ko po, and then sabi nila, ma'am, high school graduate lang. Okay, nandyan na po kayo, high school graduate kayo, but your company send you and you have to be thankful for your company. And then, andito na rin lang kayo, you put your passion on it, you give your interest on it, matutunan nyo. So nakatapos din po sila at nakapasa po sila. Yun lang po talaga, minsan talaga lang po, pasensya amigo, yun po, yun ang kailangan, may pasensya po talaga. Pag din, yung bang talagang, kumbaga, this is a vocation, hindi din po talaga na kailangan din po medyo merong, kumbaga, nandun po yung motivation din po sa mga nagte-training po. Yun po yun.
Pastor Florence, nagtaas po ng kamay kanina pa rin, no? Sila Pastor Ram, Pastora Susan, baka may concern pa po kayo. And siguro after that, nagpakita na muli si Pastor Phil. O baka may concern din siya. So, sino po mauna? The duo or the single?
Susan, meron pa po ba? Wala na. So, meron po bang gusto pa pong mag-comment regarding our topic po? Pastor Phil?
Okay na po. Okay na po.
Ayun, Ate Ma'am Dalisay, so sa mga gusto pong mag-avail po dyan po sa inyong training po, ano pong email or any contact person po na pwede pong direct na maibigay po namin?
Ayun po na sinend ko po kay Kuya Rico yung yung kanina pong pinost ko dito sa nandun po yung pangalan ko, yung email address, and even my telephone number because I'm the one directly, concerned dyan. Ako po ang directly na merong...
hindi ko po yata na-screenshot kanina yun
Ibigay ko po.
Sige po.
Here ko po.
Okay. Saka copyrighted yung presentations po nyo kanina, nasa notation sa ibaba. Are we free to somehow advertise or layman's language po namin yung pag-disseminate ng information and opportunity para po sa mga members po ng ACTS sa grupo po namin dito.
Yung pinaka-ads namin, pwede na pong i-disseminate yun. Sandali lang po.
Okay.
Pwede naman pong i-disseminate na yon. Yan po. Ito po.
Ayun po.
Yan. Ito po. Pwede nyo naman pong i-disseminate na yan. Ay, bakit napupunta ako doon?
Sige po. In-next page nyo lang po.
Kanina ayaw kasi itong aking...
Hindi ko po ata na-screenshot kanina
Okay po. Sandali po
Sabayan nyo yung screenshot, Pastor Florence. Yung
Opo, yan. Sige po.
yung mga sahod, magandang...
na-screenshot ko po yun, Bishop.
Oo, malaking sahod. Imagine nyo, from high school, tapos kung maging successful, $2,000 agad. Dito ang tuwa.
Okay na po, Ate Dalisay. Salamat po.
Okay, so yan po. Kaya pwede naman po yung yan. Ako po yung email nila din, although pinapasa ko po yan yung sa mga data is pinapasa ko na lang sa staff po namin. So, yan po kasi
Okay po.
in-evaluate ko po rin, ina-assess ko bawat applicant po. Kaya hindi ko po
Okay.
yung binibigay sa kanila basta. Yun po.
Salamat po. Si Kuya Rico po, meron po ba kayong gustong idagdag po, Kuya Rico?
Actually, I have a question actually kay Bishop, sa inyo po. How do we cascade this information? Dahil ito, we have completed the loop eh. Andiyan yung service provider to learning, andiyan yung OWWA, andiyan tayo. So how do we cascade this information to our respective pastors, and then the pastors will eventually cascade it to the members, and the members to their family? Kasi sana yung immediate family ng mga church members natin ang makapag-benefit nito. I don't know the process kasi. How do you go about cascading this information? I'm sorry, hindi ko alam kasi.
Sige po, sinong gustong sumagot?
Ikaw, Bishop.
Sige, unahan ko po. Ang grupo po, Kuya Rico, ay may mga chat groups, merong private or exclusive. Yung meron po kaming Acts coaches, exclusive po sa mga pastors ng mga churches. Meron din po kaming parang general chat group, pero private siya for security purposes, na kasama po ang mga members ng churches. So, I was thinking kanina, kaya na-raise up ko po, kung na-screenshot ni Pastor Florence, making a few slides na ang dating advertisement, pero in layman's language. And with the added feature of yung marketing, na makikilipi sila, ang laki na sahod, imagine, high school ka pa lang, and if you get this opportunity, and you finish, and you pass the exams, certification, etc., kasahod kang $2,000. Yung ganong layman's language. So, definitely, one avenue to cascade, ito pong mga chat groups. Ako naman, I go a bit further. I also have some specific chat groups, like chat groups of these individuals na very influential. So, without knowing from the side ng mga acts po namin, na ikakalat ko po sa maraming libu-libong mga friends sa Facebook and higher up. Okay, baka kung gusto magdagdag pa.
Opo, actually may follow-up ako doon to Miss Sarmiento. Yung sinasabi kanina ni Bishop, ang mangyayari niya, pakatutumukin sila ng mga interesado. So, ano ba ang capacity nila to handle this dito, mga applicants? Kumbaga.
Kasi for this number of slot they have only given us is only 25 for qualification now. Medyo kasi nagbaba ng budget yata ang TESDA. Kasi the 2019 we have 6 batches. They have given us 6 batches for instrumentation. So 25 per batch. But this time 25 lang siya kasi medyo bawas ng budget, medyo yung sa finances. That's why nga very apologetic sa akin yung although siguro we became close and he is so apologetic na ngayon lang halos nga na ibigay, supposedly April pa yan. But anyway, we are, lalo na kasi this time hindi kami pwedeng mag-overspill na sa susunod na year. Kasi meron nangyari yung aming training for 2021 na spill over up to February, which yun ang iniiwasan na ngayon. Kaya nga, pinag-submit kami ng pinaka-plan namin, so yun yung schedule ko. But sometimes naman, nagdadagsag sila, kapag tinanong nila, ma'am, kaya nyo na pabuba if there's may sumobra sa budget, gano'n na nangyayari. But this time, medyo konti-konti lang talaga ang binigay nila sa bawat PVI. Yun po yung mga institution na private institution na registered with TESDA or accredited with TESDA. Yun po ngayon ang sitwasyon.
Yeah.
So, merong OWWA, nagagamit ng OWWA, yun, pwede po yun. Kaya po namin yun. Kasi meron naman po kaming, kasi po ang ano po nitong instrumentation, 30 days. So may schedule na po kami bawat yan. Pag OWWA, pwede po yun.
Oo. Sige. So, just in case may mga applicants at magsabi sila na they are being referred to by the acts, pwede mo ba i-prioritize sila?
Oh, sure. Ngayon, ang pinaka-open ngayon kasi sabi ko nga sa iyo, maraming graduate ng instrumentation from RTU. So sila yung talagang dumadagsa ngayon. Minsan nga graduating. Sabi ko, when we say graduating, you are still in education. Kumbaga graduating year ka. Ma'am, mali po yung mga ganon. Sige, anuhin mo. Pero ang kailangan ko pa, siguro mga 12 pa. Sa although hindi ko pa alam hindi pa kasi na-qualify lahat. So, basta pasosobrahan namin lang. Sabi naman pasobrahan kasi subject for approval pa rin ng TESDA, ikwa-qualify pa rin ng TESDA. But still, 25 lang ang bibigay nila. Pero minsan, pag nakita nilang, depende yan sa TESDA, pero to be sure, 25 lang siya talaga. Bawat qualification, yung mechatronics, sa mechatronics ang medyo marami pa. Ang mechatronics naman, actually it's for manufacturing automation naman, di ba? If you really understood, it's about pneumatic, electro-pneumatic, and even PLC, so that like for example, di ba yung sa door, paano ba binubuksan yan? You need proximity sensor para yung ating mga relay, di ba? Yung mga ginagamit. That one, it's become automated na ang isang building, automation, pati yung pagsindi ng ilaw. So, that's also for mechatronics. Yan yung sa mechatronics. And then robotics, yan yung para sa mga mechatronics. And even for cylinder, na paano yung ginagamit sa mga conveyor. Yan naman about mechatronics. Kasi ang mechatronics is more of automation factory. Unlike instrumentation is for process. Although in manufacturing, di ba may mga process pa rin. Like for example, Gardenia. They have a process na pag cooking, they need temperature, a certain set point of temperature. That's why they need an instrument to sustain or to have the set point for temperature so that they will have the quality product. Yun naman yung
Thank you.
So yun, ang pinakamarami po namin is sa mechatronics po. Pero pwede pa rin pong humabol sa instrumentation. Pwede pa po, marami-rami pa naman po. Pwede po, hindi pa po, within the week po. Marami pa po sa instrumentation, marami po sa mechatronics. Priority ko po, lalo na, I ask also, actually, ako po ang nanghingi din kay Rico. Nito, Rico, meron kaming ganon. Ako po ang nagsabi kay Kuya Rico. Kuya Rico, hindi ako sanay sa'yo tawagin ka, Kuya Rico, sorry.
Yes, Ate Isay. Thank you very much, Sai.
Okay, welcome po, Rico. Kuya Rico.
Maraming salamat po muli, Ate Ma'am Dalisay, Kuya Rico. And for our closing remarks po siguro, Pastor Ram, since mukhang busy po si Pastor Robert po sa work, Pastor Ram, pwede po bang kayo na po sa ating closing remark at the same time closing prayer po?
Closing remark. Siguro pa-closing remark natin yung kapatid ko. Dad Eric, pa-closing remarks mo naman kasi yung mga terminology kanina. Oo. Kung ano yung mga
advice, magandang programa.
i-closing prayer mo na rin after.
Okay. Sabi ko nga, ako'y produkto ng out of school youth. So, yung naging ladder-rise ko is, na-reach ko na yung pinaka-pick ko Kumbaga, nandito na ako dun sa binisyon ko at the same time, dahil tayo'y mananampalataya, yun ang ating hiniling sa Panginoon at yun naman ay pinagkaloob as of now. So, ang tanong nga sa akin ng director namin, ano ang magiging dahilan mo kung aalis ka sa ating kumpanya? Sabi ko, maaaring ang magiging dahilan ko lang kung ako'y aalis sa kumpanya ay ang aking kalusugan. Wala nang iba pa. wala na akong masasabi sa kumpanya namin. Yung kanilang binibigay na compensation is secret na yun. Para secret. Tapos, dito ka pa sa Pilipinas at nakakasama mo yung pamilya. So, napakaganda ng kanilang programa. Then, yung knowledge and experience, yung hands-on na ino-offer nila ay talagang ako'y thumbs up doon. Yun nga lang, dapat yung mga ipapasok natin ay talagang passion nila yung kanilang papasukin. Kasi para hindi masayang yung panahon. Pero napakagandang yung sa instrumentation, napakagandang career. Sa aming kumpanya, ang malaking kinikita sa amin ang mga instrumentation. Kasi po, ako po ay specialized sa mechanical screw type of compressor, and mayroon kaming 5 o 4 na mayroon kaming centrifugal, mayroon kaming reciprocating, mayroon kaming screw, mayroon kaming extruder. Lahat po ng mga equipment na ito ay covered nila lahat. So, mabilis ang kanilang earn money kasi time to time mayroon silang business trip. When you pagka nandun ka na sa business trip, maring triple, maring doble ang yung kikitain sapagkat mayroong extra bukod dun sa kanilang basic salary, no, sa aming kumpanya. So napakagandang programa at malaking tulong dun sa mga kabataan na walang kakayahan na mag-aral doon sa college. At mayroong mga tao talaga na mahilig sa technical. So, kailangan yun po yung maging shoot doon. Or else, encourage yung iba. Kasi kung walang mag-encourage, gagaya po dito, yung nabanggit ko, dito sa Pampanga kasi, ang produkto rito is carpenter, mason, ganyan. Yung sa ibang lugar, yung environment nila, meron silang oil and gas, meron silang dito ba sa Batangas, meron din silang mga oil and gas diyan. Doon sa Iligan, meron mga planta doon. So dito sa Pampanga is sugar mill lang ang ating sa mechanical at sa ganyan ng mga planta. Yun po yung aking napakagandang programa. Sana po magtuloy-tuloy ito at isinyer ko na doon sa aking kasama. Napakaganda daw na programa. Interested din siya. Maaaring pag-usapan namin by Monday. Ayun lang po ang aking mababanggit.
Amen. Minsan ba po malalim na pasasalamat Ate Sai at Kuya Rico at nakumpleta yung paliwanag and better picture sa pagsasalita at pagkukwento ni Kuya Eric, lalo na po sa mga non-technical people, no? So, salamat. All things working together for good. Salamat po. So, again, in behalf of the Alliance of Christian Teams in Saudi Arabia, in behalf of the Alliance of Christian Teams Incorporated sa Pilipinas and elsewhere, malalim po na pasasalamat at mabiyayang pagbati Ate Sai again and Kuya Rico.